especially if you're 8 weeks in and you're looking to go maybe 12, 14, 16 weeks, whatever it may be, you need to make sure that you can have a little bit of flexibility, right? Because we do need to dial things in, but part of being able to achieve your goals, but then also being able to, maintain that long term. And also, it doesn't have to be like a fat loss phase is the hardest thing in the world and like you can't ever do anything. Like it shouldn't, like in terms of anything like being social and things like that shouldn't be the case, because that is going to make it so much harder from a mental standpoint. And so if you can work in a drink or two, if you can work in a night out to dinner and still be on track with what you're doing, or a night or two, or however many works for you, like that is what we want. We want some flexibility to be able to still enjoy life, right? So yeah, I mean, again, and this is something that I didn't mention before when I was talking about, but obviously alcohol is, you've probably heard people refer to it as kind of like empty calories, because it is its own macronutrient and it has no nutritional value, right? There's no nutritional value to alcohol. So it's really just thinking about, okay, if I'm consuming something that has no nutritional value, how is this benefiting me in, within what I'm trying to do right now? And so it's like, yes, the benefit is like the fun, right? You have fun, you get a little tipsy, you enjoy yourself, you enjoy life, whatever. And that's fine, right? But you have to realize that there has to be a little bit of balance there when it comes to going to the extremes. And that's with anything, right? So just keeping that in mind and, being smart about it and realizing like, okay, and even testing it out, right? For example, maybe you have a drink this weekend and you're like, okay, that was worth it. Like I had one drink, just like me, I'm pretty much a lightweight too. So I can have one drink, I'll be a little tipsy, whatever. But if I do that and then I'm like, oh man, I just want to eat everything in sight, or like I, get a little lax on what I'm doing, and then I kind of reevaluate the next day, and I also kind of reevaluate how I feel the next day. That's another thing to think about. If you're having more than one drink, or if you're getting, pretty drunk, you're probably not going to feel the best the next day, and that's probably going to affect what you're doing the next day. Like, are you going to end up sitting on the couch all day, so you're not going to get your steps in, you're not going to get your exercise in? You're going to maybe that day kind of expands into the next day where you're like, all right, I'm hungover, so I'm just going to eat whatever I want and I'll kind of start over the next day, right? So if that cycle starts to happen, that's where you get into trouble. But, if it's a one-time thing, or if it's an event that you're going to, then you have to realize that, just getting back on track, that's what you have to do. And then you just learn from it, right? You're like, all right, I did that. And, I didn't really like how I felt, or I didn't really like what I was doing while I was in that state of mind. So I need to reevaluate and think about what my goals are right now, what my timeline is, and what I need to do in order to be able to achieve my goal within that time frame.